Palm versus the Prince. Of course, Dustin's got the timer ready to go. It is deadlocked, 2-2, 2 apiece. Who's going to break the deadlock? Okay, the flip behind the scenes earlier today was won by Amal Shah, so he's going to start today. And here's the first question. Get the clock ready. Which QB in this draft class will have the best career, Amal Shah?
Caleb Williams. He's the most proven commodity out of everybody at the collegiate level right now. Heisman Trophy winner. Go back to his first appearance in the Red River rivalry and what he did against Texas. Move that forward to Los Angeles. Heisman Trophy. Despite the struggles this year, he is still the best prospect. It's fairly clear-cut. He's a generational player.
I'll go with Jaden Daniels. I've not been impressed with Caleb Williams' leadership ability here, Patrick, as USC melted down. Loosey-goosey with the ball, too many turnovers. I think Daniels is a much more effective runner and really came of age as he came to LSU from where he started with Arizona State. I think he has a higher ceiling.
Okay, we figure out, is it a win for each or a push? We continue. Game-winning drive, Mike Palm. Who you taking at quarterback? Is it Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Tua, or Jared Goff?
Well, of these 4 games managers, anecdotally, it jumped out to me, Josh Allen. And then I went back and looked at the numbers. In 2 last years, he has 17 to Dak's 21. Goff, the same amount of service as Dak, 16 to a 7 since 2020. I mean, we've seen Josh Allen do it in big situations. The problem is the Bills' defense can't defend for 13 seconds.
You mentioned the Dak Prescott 21 come-from-behind victories, but I think he's had the better team, and he's played 2 more seasons than Josh Allen. That's why you see a slight separation. To me, Tua and Jared Goff are not even in the conversation. I'm going to give a slight edge here to Dak Prescott only based on just performance over the years and experience. They're both very similar. The one thing you have to give an edge to Prescott, he does not have the propensity to throw the big interception that Josh Allen has done over the last several seasons.
Okay. Amal Shah, you're up. The Lions at 9.5 to 1 to win the NFC, or the Dolphins at plus 340 in the AFC.
Oh, it's easy. The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are going to finish 3rd in the NFC in all likelihood, so they will still be in a position to be able to potentially host the NFC Championship game. Miami's not even certain to win the AFC East at this point in time. A horrific home loss. One of 5 teams since 2002 to blow a 14-point lead with 3 minutes left or less. They've only beaten 1 team with a winning record this year, Patrick. Their 8 other wins have come against teams under 500. This Miami team is not as good as people think they are.
Yeah, but here's the problem. My answer is Miami, Patrick, and here's the problem. There's one thing that eliminates Detroit from this consideration. It's called the San Francisco 49ers. They are not beating the San Francisco 49ers in Northern California. Now, when we go over to the other side of it, I think every team in the AFC has chinks in their armor. Kansas City, Baltimore. We've all seen these teams, Jacksonville. We've all seen these teams struggle from week to week and not be as consistent as the 49ers. For that reason, I think the Dolphins have a better shot.
I've got this neck and neck right now, big guy, as we continue. Question number 4. This is for you, Mike Palm. We'll mix it up a little bit. If you could have one condiment for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Well, I have to go with ketchup. I know that's the standard answer, but you use it on the most things. A close runner-up for me was French dressing. Yes, dressing is a condiment, and it's hard to get out here. But ketchup, you can use it on a hamburger, use it on a hot dog. Some people use it on pizza. Fried egg sandwiches. I can't go without ketchup.
On pizza?
Oh, yes.
Really? I never heard that one before.
Yes.
Patrick, I'm going to go with the same thing. The reason why is because I don't eat a lot of different condiments. I'm not actually even an overwhelming fan of ketchup simply because there's too much sugar in it. But I think Mike is right. The usage on ketchup is much more multifaceted compared to anything else.
Okay.
What are you laughing at over there, Swedelson?
Multifaceted for ketchup.
Yeah, I wrote that down. The NFC right now, Amal Shah, you're up. Which teams are going to be the 6 and 7 seed? Of course, right now, you've got the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers.
I like the Los Angeles Rams. They're playing great football. I think they have an opportunity. If for some reason Philadelphia were to lose another game along the way, they won't even need to worry about that game, or Dallas trips up as well in that final weekend of the season against the Rams. The Rams are playing great football. And then I think the Minnesota Vikings sneak in. Nobody's talking about the Vikings defense. All we've done is talk about the positive parts of Josh Dobbs and then the failures of Josh Dobbs. And despite Nick Mullins stepping in, I like the way this defense has been playing extremely well over the last 8 weeks. Minnesota and the Rams.
I agree with Amal on the Rams. I have them as the 7 seed. Very good. They're going to be 9 and 8. They could be 10 and 7 if San Francisco has the 1 seed locked up to his point. I put the Packers at 6 still. I saw this coming on Monday. I thought this was a terrible spot for them on the road. You know, they were much better as the Hunters than the Hunted, being a favorite with Love going there and that New York team having the. I still think overall their balance and what they can do offensively, running and passing the ball. I'm not sold on Minnesota offensively.
Not saying you want people to move there, but what's your best selling point, Mike Palm, to convince people to move to Las Vegas, Nevada?
Well, it's a 24-hour town. That's the number one distinguishing factor. No matter what time of day, Patrick, you want to do something, it's available to you. And you take it for granted if you live here and you go to San Diego and you want to have dinner at 9 o'clock and every restaurant's already had their last seating. I would also mention no state tax, but that's not as distinguishing as the 24 hours.
I would say this, we're the one place in the country that doesn't have natural disasters. We don't have tornadoes, we don't have earthquakes, we don't have snow, we don't have hurricanes, none of those things. Hey, I've lived in those places. Who the hell wants to deal with that crap?
Might have been both your individual best answer of the day. That is
really the natural disaster fascinates me because I think there's no natural disasters because natural disasters assume humans don't live here.
I was pretty impressed with that one.
Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam is a big terrorist target, though. Let's not undersell that.
Very good point.
Amal Shah.
I win.
Also not a natural disaster.
I win.
Who is the? That's off the record though. That can't be used. Who is the best backup quarterback starting this week? Amal Shah, you're up.
I'm going to tell you right.
Again, he was lost. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to be honest with you.
He sunsets after the first hour.
No, I misread the question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was the best backup quarterback in the NFL.
No, this week. This week.
My guy's not playing this week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was your answer?
My answer was going to be Andy Dalton.
Okay.
I defer. Patrick, he gets that one. Give him the point right now.
Okay.
The beige BB gun.
We have our first lay down question.
My answer is Jake Browning, and I don't need to explain. Go ahead.
Nope.
No, it's a win.
I won.
Yeah, no,
I won.
It's like Jeopardy.
I gave an eligible answer.
It's like Jeopardy. I'm not gonna risk enough money to lose.
By the way, speaking of which, on Jeopardy, those final contestants aren't smart enough to do the math. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. If you
says
Mike
the guy
Palm,
not smart enough to read the questions this week.
That's
if
correct.
you had to only bet on one college basketball conference all season, so specializing here, which would you choose?
Well, obviously the Big 12 because of the quality of the competition. But Amal will give a better answer on that. He said he wanted that, so I give that to him. I think that the SEC is interesting because I think you have a bunch of teams that are like between the 20th and 30th best team in the country. So I think there's a competitive balance that will make the lines closer. And from my perspective, generally I like a closer point spread when I'm betting college basketball.
The reason why I like the Big 12 is because I just have a great familiarity with the league. But more importantly, Patrick, you have more consistency with these teams. The one thing in the SEC is you have more upsets in road spots in conference games than you do in a conference like the Big 12. Even same thing happens in the Big 10. There's just certain spots you see a team you don't think they're going to lose. They go on the road and they find a way to win. So I'm going to go with the Big 12 here.
Well, Amal wanted it. He needed it after the white flag. Never seen it happen in our lives. Okay, I like this question. We'll end with this. Amal Shah, you're on a deserted island, and you can have one rap album. Which one do you bring?
NWA, 100 Miles and Running.
Good one. Mike Palm.
Well, I'm waiting. He gets 30 seconds.
That's a walk-off.
It felt like there was punctuation at the end of the answer.
It's not a walk-off. It's not a walk-off. But, defining rap and what's hip-hop, I'm not a big, straight, heavy, hard gangster rap type person. I'm going to go with
that's surprising.
I'm going to go with the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. After the breakup of the Fugees, and the score's probably top 10 on this list. I think, the singles that came out, Everything is Everything, Doo-Wop, and the underrated song on that track is X Factor, which is a great song. So, for me, miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That was a Barry Zito in his prime, curveball from Mike Palm there. 12
I bought it when
to
it came
6.
out.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill that was wild, big
absolutely.
guy.
It might be the most shocking thing anyone has ever said on this network. I did not see that coming.
No, it's when Gil was asking me, long when it was my first days, and Gil was asking me about something about rappers. They're like, I wouldn't know anything about it. And I was talking about Crossroads. And Parles couldn't stop. Parles was producer number 18 at that point.
Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Cleveland, Ohio, baby.
Yep.
BTH.
Yeah, that is Ohio. Dustin, what do you got? I got a winner for Mike Palm this week.
Woo! I have a 4-3 winner for Mike Palm. That last answer put him over the top.
All right, congratulations. That's a 3-2 overall lead for Mr. Palm. Mike, anything to say on the way out?
Thank you. Looking forward. We'll have full report on Fountain Blue next week.
Would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.